So this is a Women's Squash Festival held alongside the PSA Manchester Open. So it's a chance for women in the region and beyond to come in together, train together and play in a fun, competitive squash competition together. So by bringing all these women together, they can see that there's other women exactly like them in squash, and it just helps to retain women in squash. And also there's a number of girls coming with their parents as well, and I think that's fantastic to keep it in the family and keep those relationships going on the squash court as well. As a Girls Emotion event, holding an event alongside a PSA Manchester Open, which is a huge squash event for Manchester, bringing the professionals from all around the world to Manchester to play. Holding this event alongside it in an aspirational venue like the National Squash Centre really adds gravitas to our cause and to women's squash, and shows that the sport cares for them.
They can play with pro players and see what it feels like, but then when they can go inside, have a drink and sit with each other and just socialise watching the pro players try and battle it out. And I think it's just really powerful to be able to see what can be achieved and give them something to aspire to as well. No, I had nothing like this. Every camp, every event I went to, it was very much not like this, and I obviously am very envious that this is happening now, because they do the junior ones as well, where we get all the junior girls by themselves too, and I can see how much they enjoy it. They just love it. They feel comfortable, they feel happy. There's all the coaches are women as well, so they look up and they go, oh, I can do that. I think it's not just about the playing, I think it's about all the opportunities they can have in the day. And I wish I'd had something very similar, I really do.
I'm loving it. It's good to kind of meet lots of women from different clubs around the area and get to play with them in a friendly setting and not just in a match. It's lovely.
Today has been great. It's a great way to meet new people with similar hobbies, similar kind of ways of doing everything. So I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. I think it's very important for us to have events like these, just to bring everyone together.
It's definitely a really important space for these women to be playing in. They're all having a great time, they're meeting new people, they're having new experiences at different clubs, seeing people from different walks of life. It's interesting to compare stories as well from different clubs, because a lot of these ladies maybe haven't played with many ladies in their clubs, or it's very limited how many ladies they can play with. So they come here and they get introduced to a different setting, new women. It's fantastic for their squash and for their social. So I'm running the coaching session today, so I've planned the session, and Sally's got all these ladies together, and we're here all playing in different groups, playing different levels, different standards from different clubs, and just having a good time together. Female coaches are really important. There's a different perspective they can bring. There's also maybe an understanding of the women's game that potentially a male coach doesn't have, having not played in the women's game. So it's maybe a slightly different skill set and a different experience that they can bring to the role. But maybe there's also a relevance to these women, that they see that there are other women out there leading, coaching, playing a standard of sport that maybe hasn't been promoted in the past, and actually maybe they can look up to these ladies as role models and get involved in squash themselves.
Before I came here, I used to play as a junior, and I've only ever had male coaches, and for me it was okay, but I know for a lot of women, especially young girls, I could find it maybe a little bit intimidating. Especially if they're on court with a load of lads. I know that'll put a few of my friends off, so having a female coach, it just encourages them even more, and it just makes them feel at ease, and I think it's really important, yeah. The great thing as well about the Girls in Motion is that they actually, they're funding some women to do coaching as well, so I'm going to put my name down for the level 2, because I got the level 1 when I was a junior, but yeah, it's good because you're supporting people all through the squash game and not just bringing them in, but actually developing them into coaches as well.
I think everyone has so much commitment to this festival, from the PSA and their support down to the people who come along, and all the way between the coaches and the volunteers that make all this happen. Everyone's really passionate about women's squash, and they can see the positivity coming from events like this and how that impacts on their own personal squash journey.
Definitely grown. There's a lot of laughing, there's a lot of giggling, there's a lot of great squash being played, and I think when we get women together like this, sometimes they can maybe bring their level of squash that they haven't felt confident to potentially in other settings, and actually they realise that there's more to squash than just being on court, and it's a great social as well.
I think everyone who's coming here today just wants to enjoy their game, talk to the other women around them, share their stories about what they do in squash and what they enjoy about it, and just have a bit of fun, along with a tiny bit of competitiveness.